Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. As you come in, y'all, please hit the like and subscribe button as I get this video ready. It will be coming from The Truth Is, of course. It's still talking about drill music. I will not be talking too much about it because I'm about, but the truth is bringing it out, and y'all know me and the truth is, even though I don't like agree with everything he says, most of it is correct. Okay, and when I don't agree, I will stop it and let y'all know I don't agree. But as you watch this video, please be nice and kind in the comments, and also play it at the speed of 1.25 or higher. That'll make it more interesting for you because I have a slow, like, I speak slowly. And I'm gonna stop saying that on all my darn videos. Y'all, they'll speed it up if need be, huh? All right, but reactions come from the truth is we're gonna go ahead and get it together. We talking about Mr. K Flock. Y'all remember K Flock? All right, so I won't be saying too much, but I can't let it play straight through either. Okay, but here we go. Let's see. See what's going on. Oh shoot.
At the beginning of 2020, we saw the rise of Bronx drill music. And one of the faces of Bronx drill music in the 2020s was no other than the rapper K Flock. K Flock was taking off extremely quickly back in the 2020s, if you guys remember. He was probably the main figure of Bronx drill. He performed at the Summer Jam. He had a couple of hit songs. He was getting a lot of momentum, and he looked like the next one up. The only problem with K Flock was that a lot of his hype, a lot of his attention came from the actions and the things that he was doing, not necessarily his music. His music was an afterthought to what he was doing in the streets. And when it comes to drill music, that's usually how it works. What people really pay attention to is what you do in the streets, and then it transfers over to music, and that's exactly what we saw with K Flock. K Flock was one of the fastest growing drill rappers at that time. He literally took off, and many thought that he was going to be one of the very few artists of the drill era to stay around and, have a successful career.
And he looked like he was doing good. Nice looking young man. Look like he's doing good, having fun, but the words that are coming out of his mouth may not have been good at all, y'all. And his actions. We have to go by the action, not just the words coming out the mouth, but it's the actions.
Like we saw with Pop Smoke. Drill music obviously goes back way before K Flock. It started in the 2010s, but for a while it had died down a bit. In the 2020s, we saw the rise of Bronx drill music. We saw the rise of Florida drill music. We saw the rise of drill music everywhere. And with the rise of drill music, we saw the negative effects that it had on the communities where this drill music was being birthed at, where this drill music was being created at. And K Flock has to be the poster child of what happens when you get into drill music and you go too far. Some of you guys might already know, I grew up in the Bronx. Around 2020, I left the Bronx. I was living in the Bronx until 2020, and I left the Bronx in 2020 when things really got bad. But everything that people seen in drill music, that was normally already happening in the Bronx. I grew up in those environments myself, and a lot of my friends.
His mom still lives in the Bronx, y'all.
And even myself, when I was younger, experienced it, seen it firsthand, and had to deal with the consequences of living in these environments. But drill music took everything negative from the streets and made it positive and pushed it in the music form, which is not something new. But what was new about it was that these drill rappers were literally rapping about active crimes they had just committed, crimes that they can be investigated for and go to prison for. But these rappers were so happy to rap about them. Like, it was literally like they committed the crime, they took out somebody, and then went to the studio, made a song about it and bragged about it. And the next day the song was out. At the time, while all these rappers were living at the moment, committing these crimes, people getting killed, then they'll make a song about it, then they'll put it out, and then they'll argue about it on Instagram Live. They were being praised by fans, and they were only going up. So it almost seemed like they weren't expecting what was going to happen next, which was.
And then it took the police still forever to just catch him, and all you got to do is listen to the song, follow the music. Back then, now I don't know, but back then, we're trying to stop that darn drill music. Okay, some people still love drill music. I've heard older people like myself, but not me saying it. But I've heard older men say, we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. They look like idiots. Why would you want to put those messages inside of the young people's heads instead of just good old rap? You can rap. If you don't know how to rap without putting lean and unaliving and all of that in it, then you ain't a good darn writer. You ain't a good rapper. if you have to have that in it. It didn't used to have it in it, so what's up now? Right?
What drill music literally does.
Just
I honestly believe that drill music was hijacked early on, or it couldn't even been manufactured because of the simple fact that its purpose it's to destroy the community from within. That's literally the purpose of drill music, and that's what we saw with K Flock. K Flock terrorized the Bronx, Harlem. He was all over these streets. He was known for running down on his ops, recording it live, showing himself live on Instagram, running after his ops and pulling out weapons on them and terrorizing the streets. While most rappers just rap about being gangsters and maybe have a criminal history in the past, K Flock was actively in the street, proving his criminal history, showing that he was this big bad criminal. And eventually it caught up to him. Chances are those that follow hip hop and follow drill music, you might have heard the news that the rapper K Flock got 30 years in prison. The story of K Flock is a very sad story because the kid was only like 18 years old when this all happened. And he had literally just...
That said December 2025. Is that what y'all read too? That okay.
Become the successful rapper and had the opportunity to not only get himself out of the streets, but all of his friends out of the streets, get his mom out of the streets. All of these things could have been a possibility, but instead he decided to crash out to prove that he was this big bad tough guy because that's the image that he's presenting through his drill music. If I'm not mistaken, I think this happened back in 2021. K Flock is walking down the street past a barbershop. It's alleged that he looked into the barbershop, notices somebody that he has issues with, and then the guy gets up, runs towards the door, opens the door, and pulls out a weapon on K Flock and threatens him. They claim that K Flock then tells him that he doesn't want no problems and that everything was good. And then the guy turns around to go walk back into the barbershop, and K Flock pulls out his weapon, unloads it, ends up taking the guy's life, runs away. It didn't take long for the authorities to realize it was K Flock because, there's cameras all over New York, and they were able to match his outfit that he was wearing.
Look at that. Look at that. I mean, the man had turned around to go back in, even though he did pull his weapon first. K Flock didn't want nobody saying that they pulled a weapon on him and he ain't do nothing about it. That's how bad he was, and now look. 30 years. 30
during
years.
that day, so it was pretty much case closed. They already knew it was K Flock. When K Flock got arrested and eventually went to trial, his defense was that it was self-defense because the guy pulled out a weapon first. But in reality, if you are from New York, you know that there's not real self-defense laws here. You're not even allowed to have a gun. So the fact that K Flock pulled out and used a weapon, that already voids that self-defense claim. But even that, the fact that the man turned around and walked away, in my opinion, throws away the fact that that would be self-defense because it looked like the man de-escalated and walked away. K Flock was the one who pulled out and did what he did. Now again, this is the price of being a drill rapper. K Flock in his head didn't think he had a choice. He likely didn't want this man to go online and say, yo, I just pressed K Flock. K Flock folded. K Flock was begging me for his life. So what do you think K Flock did? K Flock thought about his career more than his freedom. K Flock thought about his image as a drill demon over his freedom and his family having K Flock around. So what did K Flock do? K Flock upped the stick. K Flock took out his weapon and took out this person without even needing to. He could have just walked away and the situation was already de-escalated. But that's the price of drill music. That's the price of being a drill rapper. Back in the day, a rapper could have been in the streets at one point. They could have committed some of these crimes. They could have done these things, but they weren't rapping about the things that they were actively doing. They were rapping.
Listen, exactly. Yeah. Shorty find me in the club or something, whatever, 50 Cent. Yeah, I used to love that beat. But anyway, yeah, the rappers, they rapped about what they did back in the day. But this one is rapping as it happens. Driving, filming it at the same time, and then making a song about it. And you got the video show. But yeah, the artists, I call them artists, they rapped about what they used to do back in the day, not what they're doing like right now. Come on now. Come on, young. Don't mess up the young people's mind because we trying to set it straight now. We trying to turn this thing around. No matter what's going on, with Trump, the Epstein file, all that, we know. But we talking about saving our people, okay? Saving the youth, all youth. But we got to start in our neighborhood first, okay? In our backyard, and then we'll clean up the other backyards, okay?
About things that they might have done in the past or someone close to them might have done in the past or just fabricated stories altogether. But when it came to drill rap rewarded active crimes. Drill rappers literally became superstars because of the people they took out. That's literally what their entire career was about. And you can't tell me that that's not a manufactured agenda pushed into our urban communities to destroy the people there. When I grew up, I saw a lot of things for myself. I'm not going to deny that there's always been crimes before drill. Obviously, there's definitely been crimes before gangster music too. But what
Of
I know for a
course.
fact was that gangster music made criminals desirable. It wasn't just a few bad apples who were gangsters. No, gangster music and drill music made being a gangster desirable, made even the people that weren't about that life, they wanted to be gangsters because this is what was being promoted by mainstream music. This was what was being plastered all over the TVs. Specifically, I remember when I was very young, 50 Cent was the hottest rapper in the world. Me being from New York, I couldn't turn a corner without hearing 50 Cent's music. 50 Cent was everywhere, and I used to be a huge fan of 50 Cent. When I was a kid, 50 Cent was a superhero to me. His music resonated all over my neighborhood. Everybody loved 50 Cent. What they loved the most about 50 Cent was that he was this big gangster and that he got shot 9 times and survived, and that he was terrorizing the game and everybody was afraid of him. I vividly remember around that time how aggressive people were acting, how the music was influencing a gangster culture that was being birthed. And I was literally in the middle of it. I saw it every day. I dealt with it as a kid. Believe it or not, that's the effect of music on the mind. And we saw that with drill music. When the era of drill music was rising, it wasn't just K Flock that was catching bodies. There was a bunch of copycats, a bunch of other people that saw this as their opportunity.
And most of those are the ones that got unalived also. It was unaliving other people. Yeah, it was all fun. It looks fun and dandy if y'all kept it like without weapons. The weapons is what messed it all up. Okay. What's wrong with catching a fade? Okay. Catch a fade. You ain't gotta darn pop out nobody. Come on, young people. And yeah, that's right. We don't want drill music back. That's just my opinion. So don't go off on me in the comments, okay? Please be nice and respectful.
To become a massive rapper and to blow up and put their block on the map. So what ended up happening? 2020, 2021 ended up being one of the highest murder rates in New York City for a long time. Why? Because of drill music. Because drill music was inspiring these kids to make their own drill song. And in order for them to have a real drill song, they have to go on a drill. They can't just make a drill song and it be a lie. So these kids were literally actively hurting themselves. And then the record label swoops in and starts signing every single one of them. The record labels is handing out deals, giving them more money so they can
because they own the music and the jails and the
crash out some more. And the more bodies that are dropping, the more money the record labels is making, because at the end of the day, it all works for promotion. Drill music is causing the death, so it has to be the realest form of music. That's how this operated. It wasn't only in Bronx drill, because we also saw the story of Lil Jeff. Little Jeff was just like K Flock. He was known for being active in the streets, and his entire allure was the fact that he was a street guy. It was the fact that he was catching bodies. It was the fact that he wasn't a good rapper. It was the fact that he was really in the streets and people were dropping because of him. And at the end of the day, the way that he went out is honestly worse than K Flock, because K Flock, yeah, he's going to be in prison for 30 years. But if he survives prison and he survives health-wise and everything's good, he'll make it out of there eventually. But Lil Jeff is gone. Little Jeff let the drill music, the streets mentality get to him to the point where he literally ran into his own death. The guy went to do a drill on some ops. He jumps out of his car with his weapon, runs towards the house to try to literally kick in the door, because this is something that he was known for. He would kick in the door of his ops and then take them out in their own house. So Little Jeff runs up to this person's house, kicks in their door, and immediately gets shot. He passes away, turns into a giant.
So whose fault was that, y'all? Tell me. I hate that it happened. And I condolences to his family. I don't know what year this happened, but still, condolences to his family. But he ran up in there to kick the door in, to pow somebody in their own house. They didn't go to his crib. All right. So that's the thing about drill music. Everybody does things different. So if we do away with the drill music and just rap about what you used to do, and if you have to, you just rap and do fight. Don't bring weapons. You scared? Y'all scared when you have to bring weapons. That's the way I see it.
Shootout. And this potentially big rapper who had infinite potential and who could have made it as a big star just because of his activities in the street ends up dying. Losing it all, losing his opportunity, just like we saw with K Flock. There is no way K Flock is going to come out to become a rapper, and there's no way Little Jeff is going to come back to life and become a rapper. So they threw away their lives for something that they can't even enjoy. And that's how the devil operates. I've said this multiple times. The devil would prop up one person, give him everything, make him look like a star, make him look desirable. Also, he could lead so many souls astray. Now, honestly, people might think that this all falls only on the drill rappers or maybe the parents for raising their kids wrong and all that. I'm going to tell you that's all wrong. It's not the parents, and it's not only on the drill rappers either.
Thank you.
It falls on the weight of the record labels. These kids just want to make it. These kids are just following trends. These kids are learning from others. That's how we are. We are influenced by the generation before us. We are influenced by what we see, by what we grew up watching. That's who forms the people we are. So when we grow up idolizing hip hop and idolizing rap music and wanting to be rappers, when you see that there's this new opportunity that almost guarantees you to get a record deal, you're going to go for it. And that's where the record labels come in. The record labels have no issues signing these menace drill rappers to terrorize their community, giving them more money, more resources so they can do more crimes and cause more destruction because it's not in their communities. Why would they care? It's destroying the urban community that they don't care anything for. We are the ones that are affected. My mom still lives in the Bronx. My friends still live in the Bronx. My family members, a lot of people that I care dearly, are affected by the music, not the rich executives that run these record labels. They live in the subs. They got whatever, they got security. They got well protected areas where cops drive around and protect the area, not like where we're from in the Bronx, where the cops don't protect the area, they terrorize it. So the record label has no issues pushing this. And it's not just about making money, because they're going to make money, but it's about destroying the community and enslaving as many people as possible. Like I said multiple times, drill music is the evolution of gangster music. Gangster music was designed hand in hand with the private prison industry to make sure that as many people as possible from the urban community, black and brown, end up in a private prison. Drill music is the evolved version of this because it's almost a guarantee. Not only are the drill rappers going to jail, but also the kids that are influenced to do the same thing.
Because they make money either way, music or the prison. It don't matter.
The kids around them, all of it. It's a system to destroy us from within. And that's exactly what the record labels did. They gave these artists a few $100,000. Next thing you know, half the town is arrested, end up in a private prison, and they make billions. That's how the system works. That's the true problem of drill music. That's the curse behind drill music. They literally pay you to crash out and destroy your life so that the audience can watch it live. And recently, I just did a video on NBA Youngboy, a 30-minute video on NBA Youngboy on my main channel, where I went through over all the information that I've learned about him. And I also showed exactly how NBA Youngboy was used to create the crash out generation. And this is one of the things that truly bothered me being from the Bronx and me actually witnessing my friends go to jail, me witnessing family members be hurt, me witnessing the effects of this gangster music on my community. And that's why I want to speak out. I honestly want to find a way to convince these kids that this is not the way, because I was one of them at one point. I was there. I experienced it myself. I dealt with it. I did things that I'm not proud of as a kid. I'm pretty sure many of you have as well. When we mature, we end up changing our mindsets. We end up changing the way we are. We turn to God and God guides us. But imagine if you never got that opportunity to learn from your mistakes. You never got your opportunity to grow from your mistakes and see, these things that I did were wrong, immature, and they were damaging my life. You don't get that opportunity when you throw away your life because you're trying to chase drill music. These kids who could possibly turn their lives around and become better influences and change themselves for the better, they don't get that opportunity. They lost that opportunity. They sacrificed that opportunity to be drill rappers. And it's sad, man. In reality, I pray for my community, specifically the Bronx itself, because I have so much love for the Bronx. I think it's a wonderful place. I just think that it's completely hijacked by the devil. And the devil.
Yeah, and I'm praying for everybody, all drill music people. Please chill out, okay? Please stop. Please stop. Just stop unaliving each other. Stop bringing weapons. Fight like we used to do. Fight. Shoot. Best man wins, and you'll both still be living, Anyway, that's all I got, and that's all
has the youth and the grip, and we as the people.
My bad. That's all I got right there, y'all. If y'all want to see it without any interruptions, go to The Truth Is on YouTube. I have it in the description of this video. Thank y'all so much. As you come in, y'all, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. I would appreciate it so very much. And just FYI, I have to do third shift 2 nights straight. So I'm going to do what I can, okay? All right. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. All right. Bye, y'all.